adjourn early.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Okay, good evening, everyone. We're starting the December meeting of Community Board One's Waterfront Parks and Cultural Committee. I am Paul Goldstein, Chair of the committee. With us today are members of the committee, including Andrew Zelter, co-chair, and also Diana Sweetai, our Director of Land Use and Planning. So we only have one item on the agenda. I thank you all for making it on an alternate date this month because we had to reschedule. So with us today, I'm happy to say, is Sara she's Senior Vice President for Public Affairs at the Trust for Governor's Island. And as some of you know, we learned a few weeks ago that Governor's Island would become a year-round destination for visitors, an exciting and very positive development. Sara's here to fill us in on exactly what you can expect during the upcoming winter season, how and when you can get to the island, and the activities you can enjoy while visiting. So without further ado, let me throw it over to Sara, and we're happy to hear from you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much, Paul, and thanks to Diana and Andrew and the rest of the committee for having me tonight. I'm going to share my screen and run through a very brief presentation. Just give me 1 minute. Can everyone see this okay?
Looks good.
Yes. Excellent. So as Paul mentioned, back in September, we were really thrilled to announce in partnership with Mayor de Blasio that Governor's Island will be open year-round for the first time in history. Previously, as many of you know, we've been open for sort of the peak spring and summer months. In 2018, we were able to add October to our public season. But now New Yorkers will be able to enjoy the island in all of its glory in all 4 seasons. So we're super thrilled. And I know this is something that the community has been advocating for as long as I've been at the Trust. So thank you all for all of your support and advocacy as well in making this happen. So just the basics, what you need to know. We are now open starting at 7 a.m., which is really exciting, especially for Lower Manhattan residents. It's a great time to come out, take a jog or a bike ride, and just enjoy the open space we have on the island. We are running ferries daily from Lower Manhattan. Our ferries, as many of you know, leave from the Battery Maritime Building located at 10 South Street. And during this off-season period, we are increasing frequency. So ferries will be every half hour, all part of our goal to sort of take the planning out of the trip to Governor's Island and making it more accessible. The park is open. We also have plenty of outdoor amenities. We have city bike stations on the island. It's free to bring your bike to the island. We also have bike rentals with Blazing Saddles, who's our vendor operator for athletic equipment. All of our outdoor public art is on display currently. And we have many food vendors on the island. Many folks are familiar with Little Eva's. They've been on the island for about 8 years. They are open daily in Liggett Terrace. And then we also have a new indoor cafe located at Lower Manhattan Cultural Council's Art Center. Joe Coffee will be serving not only coffee, but sandwiches, grab-and-go food, and that is open daily, as mentioned. One thing that we were super excited to announce in partnership with the mayor with this year-round access news is that for the first time, starting this year, we hope, New York City Ferry will be serving Governor's Island 7 days a week. So in addition to the ferries that the Trust for Governor's Island operates, there will be direct connections from NYC Ferry on the South Brooklyn route. And that will launch at the same time that the new Coney Island service is going to launch. So we'll certainly keep everyone posted on this, but this is super exciting for us. It means daily service from Red Hook, from other points along the Brooklyn waterfront, and then also from the Lower East Side from Corlear's Hook. So one of the things I think a lot of people have probably been wondering, what can I do on Governor's Island in the winter? So in addition to the park and all of its beauty and amazing passive and active recreational spaces, we announced just last week that we are going to be launching a winter village. So this will be located in Colonel's Row. Colonel's Row is an area that is in really close proximity to the ferry landing. So just a 5-minute walk, located within the historic district. As I was leaving the island this evening to attend this meeting, I was seeing our team installing our festive winter lights around the historic district. So that will be create a beautiful ambiance for folks. But we're also launching an ice skating rink, which I'll talk more about in the next slide. We're also going to be concentrating all of our food and beverage options in this area. So Little Eva's, who I mentioned, will move to Colonel's Row. We're going to have fire pits for people to gather around. There will be plenty of food, drinks, hot chocolate, even cocktails for adults. And in addition, we are going to have some designated sledding areas. As most folks know, we have these beautiful hills on the island. Some of them are densely planted, so not ideal for sledding, but we do have 2 locations that we're hoping people will bring their sleds out and enjoy when it snows. And then throughout the season, we're going to continue to announce other pop-up activations. We're currently working on attracting performances, partnering both with musical performers to help enliven the Winter Village, as well as recreational activities for kids like ice skating or figure skating and hockey lessons and demonstrations. Just a few details on the rink itself. We are opening the rink Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for the most part. We're partnering with an operator who is basically installing everything. They're going to staff the rink and manage the operations of the rink. We're also going to keep it open during school vacation times for public schools. So the rink will be open every day during school winter break, midwinter recess, as well as holidays, including Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, and Lunar New Year. We are still working out the exact pricing of the rink. There will be an admission fee, except for on Fridays. We're going to just make that totally free admission. And our goal is to really attract school groups and community groups and field trips during those days. So definitely would love the community's help in spreading the word. And we will also have skate rentals available at the rink for purchase. Another thing that we've started to do some soft outreach on and would love the community board committee's thoughts on this is offering the rink in the mornings to hockey leagues, particularly youth hockey leagues. I've been hearing a lot that the hockey leagues in the city are desperate for rink space. So while this isn't a full-size regulation NHL rink, we do have the space to accommodate practices, especially for kids. So we'll be sharing more information about how folks can book that, but just wanted to put that out on everyone's radar as an option. Oops. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble. Here we go. And then 2 other pieces of news I wanted to share. Many of you may know that we don't currently allow dogs on the island. Part of that is because it's hard to make everyone comfortable, like in the peak summer months when you're on the ferry and people have their dogs. But because we are expecting a bit lower attendance during the winter, we are going to pilot, particularly targeting Lower Manhattan residents, Saturdays as a dog day, where you can bring your dog on a leash. And we are working on creating a dog run or an area where dogs can be off leash. So I've talked to a few community members and I'm aware of Downtown Dogs and other dog owner groups, but we are going to be hopefully announcing this more widely tomorrow. And Would love to just invite dog owners and dog lovers to come out and enjoy the island with their canine friends and also help spread the word. So that again is going to start this coming Saturday, and it'll be every Saturday basically until May. And then, part of this is an effort to just see how it goes. And my hope is that we're able to expand it over time. In addition, so the Winter Village will be open at least through the end of February. Our hope is to keep it open longer. So the ice rink will be there, all of those amenities that I mentioned. But we're also working with the Lower Manhattan Cultural Council to launch sometime in February, ice sculpture competition in partnership with artists around the city. So stay tuned for more info on that, but we will certainly keep you updated, and that'll be another great attraction this winter. So my hope is that this is exciting news. We're really thrilled to have the island open year round. You can see how beautiful it is in the snow in this picture. But we'd love the community board's help in just spreading the word. Please come out and enjoy the Winter Village. We are planning to invite local elected officials and community members out for opening weekend, where we're hoping to have lots of activity and performances, as I mentioned. But we're also really open to your ideas. If there's a school choir that is looking for a performance space, if you know of a hockey league in need of space for practices, please consider us a resource, and feel free to reach out to me, because we'd love to partner with you all in just making this as successful as possible. In addition, I just wanted to mention, I know this was included in the community board's newsletter last week. Thank you so much for including our flyer, but we do have flyers available in multiple languages, and we've started to, but we'll continue to do a lot of outreach, especially to residents of NYCHA and other community-based organizations and schools, just about the opportunity to come out here. So with that, that is all I had. I'm happy to take questions, and thank you all again so much for having me.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Let me just clarify one or two things. I know you're opening December 17th. Did you say the Winter Village would run through February? Is that what you said?
Yes. The current plan is to absolutely have it open through the end of February. Depending on how successful it is, and if it's still skating weather in March, we will likely extend it through the end of March. But for now, we're at least committed through end of February.
Right. So that was going to be my question. The rink will also close as of now at the end of February.
Yes, that's the plan now. We tend to pivot in the spring to hosting a lot of cultural programs. We host art fairs in the area that the rink is located, for instance. But depending on how popular it is and successful, we will extend it. And then, this is obviously a pilot year for us. We announced that we were going to be open this winter kind of late. So our hope is that the momentum and excitement builds, and we're able to bring this back next year as well.
Okay, good. Andrew, I see you have your hand up. Why don't we start with you?
Thanks, Paul. Hey, Sarah. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Andrew.
You guys have been busy, and this all sounds really fantastic. I will put you in touch with some parents who are quite involved in youth hockey. I think that there'd be great demand. I guess the challenge just is how early in the morning can they get access, and will there be weekend time available, which is when there'd also be quite a bit of demand. With respect to the rink, has there been consideration about potential corporate sponsors which might mitigate the cost to the public to use the rink?
Yes. First of all, thank you on the hockey leagues. We do plan to have those opportunities open in the mornings. And I think having, previously the public could only come over on the 10 a.m. ferry. So now anyone can come over starting at 7 a.m.
Perfect.
So that will add more access and flexibility for the practices. On sponsorships, the answer is yes. Again, we got a bit of a late start this year, but we have reached out to a number of folks around sponsorship opportunities, including the idea of sponsoring free admission. So I have a few folks that are considering it. Part of what's making this, making us able to do this is, we do have philanthropic support that comes through the trust and through our fundraising partners at the Friends of Governors Island. So that's helping to get it here, but obviously sponsorships can make it more accessible. So if folks know of people who might be interested, we'd also love your help. I have collateral on what sponsorship entails. And, obviously we won't take money from anyone. We want it to be a partner that's like-minded and whatnot, but would love assistance if folks have ideas.
And then one other quick question. As it relates to allowing dogs on the island, will that commence when there is an identified dog run, or what's the current thinking?
So that's a good question. I'll have to get back to you on the timing of the dog run. I think our hope is to have it up by this coming Saturday. There's a location near the border between the historic district and the southern portion of the island where the park starts that we have in mind to just sort of fence off. So the hope is that we can open that this Saturday. Until that opens, folks will be asked to keep their dogs on leash.
Great. And I think, if that works, I think that's a great idea. I would just mention that a lot of the youth sports leagues where there are parks that are really meant for athletic fields and not dog walks, oftentimes there's a lot of contention between those leagues and the fields being used as dog walks. So I would just advocate not perhaps bringing the two in close proximity to each other.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point and a consideration that our operations team has raised. So appreciate that.
Great. Thanks for everything. It's a really great update.
Thank you.
Good luck with that. And let's go next to Joe Lerner.
Currently, there's no charge to get to Governor's Island if you use that ferry. If you use a New York City ferry, will there be a charge?
That's a good question. So currently the ferries that the Trust for Governor's Island runs are $3 round trip. But as you mentioned, Joe, there are a wide range of free fare categories. So ID NYC holders, seniors, children 12 and under, residents of NYCHA, veterans, all ride the ferry for free. And actually, thanks to a lot of outreach efforts and also partnership with the community board, I'm happy to say that almost half of our visitors do utilize those free ferries. New York City Ferry, which is operated by the city's Economic Development Corporation, has a different fare structure. So their ferries are $2.75 each way. That's not something, unfortunately, under our jurisdiction. So, I think we will be working closely with EDC as that rolls out to sort of message the price differential. But you are correct that that's it's a different fare for those ferries.
Although I'm against commercialization of certain things, if you're going to have a dog run, I'm sure some dog sponsors out there.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's something that we've been working on doing some outreach, and it's mostly to just make the area better. It'd be great to have someone pay for benches and waste receptacles, that sort of thing. So we're very mindful of the balance that you need to strike with that sort of thing, but we want to make it as accessible and great as possible for the community.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, I see two more hands. Eric, you're next up. I'm not hearing Eric. Are other people?
mute.
Eric, we can't hear you. I don't know.
Eric, if you want to type your question in the chat, I can read it for you.
All right, while he's doing that, why don't we move to the next speaker? We will go to your question after, but Pat Moore, are you ready?
Yeah, I am. Hi, Sarah. Thanks
Hi,
for the
Pat.
update. I'm just curious. I haven't been out to the island in quite a few years. Whatever happened to the wonderful movie theater that was out there?
Good question. The movie theater is still there. It is part of the Governor's Island Historic District. The theater that Pat is talking about is the Fort J Theater, which was constructed by the Army around 1912, and it was used as a theater for Army and Coast Guard members and their families. It was used to showcase first run movies, but also performances. It's really like one of the most incredible buildings on the island.
I went to high school with a girl whose father was in the Coast Guard, and she lived out there.
Oh, that's great.
So, I've always dreamt of that theater being used for something, some sort of film festival or something. Are there any ideas on the drawing table?
There are. We have a pretty detailed vision and strategy for the historic district and just breathing new life into those buildings. And the theater is on our priority list. I think that's one where, we've discussed over the years a number of models, fundraising for capital needs, and then potentially doing an RFP to a cultural institution or operator. But our vision is to breathe new life into that and make it a cultural resource, whether it's for film or theater or both. But it is a building that's in need of significant repairs. It needs new building systems. It will need to be gut renovated, but it's very, very much on the top of our list. And our hope is that we can find partners to help fund that project.
Have you ever reached out to Tribeca Film Festival?
We've had conversations with them about events and programming. One additional partner we've talked to is Film at Lincoln Center. They are our programming partner for our summer outdoor film series. But I think either of those would be great institutions to partner with on this.
Yeah, also, now you've got Trinity Church, you've got the PAC that will be coming in.
Yep.
Look at BMCC, Pace is building a new auditorium. Maybe there's some synergy that can be, generated amongst all of those institutions. Well, good.
Yeah,
I hope to live long enough to be able to go to performances, because that theater is just wonderful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Thanks.
Okay, is that it, Pat? Okay, thank you, Pat. Eric, are we going to try you again?
Eric, try one more time, and if we still don't get you, I'll read your question. Yeah, sorry, Eric, we still can't hear you, but I do have your question, which is about security. Does NYPD have officers posted on the island? If they do not, is response time an issue?
That's another good question. We work extremely closely with FDNY and NYPD, particularly the 1st Precinct, and all emergency protocols, including responses. We have a private security company that manages a lot of just the day-to-day stuff, like security on the ferry, security at the landings. But NYPD does have a presence on the island. And then, of course, folks know the harbor school is out on the island. The school is assigned 3 school safety agents that we also work very closely with. They're really there for the school, but they work closely with the NYPD folks that are posted on island at all times when we're open to the public.
Okay.
They're technically part of the 1st Precinct.
Okay, I do see one more hand from the committee, Elizabeth Lewinson.
Hi. Hi, Sarah. Hi. It's quick. I was just wondering if you can share your contact information or somebody else's contact information if we have ideas about corporate sponsorship or the hockey families. How would we, if you can share a way to get in touch with you to sort of let you know that information. Can you share your contact information or share it with Diana?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
And please always feel free to reach out with ideas, questions, concerns. I will drop it into the chat now, and then I'll also share a copy of this presentation, and my contact info is at the end.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, I think we covered all the people on the committee and all the people who had their hands raised. And
Hey,
I
Paul,
think
I was going to say, Paul,
Yes.
this is Ricky. I just have one quick question. Do you ever have weddings out there?
Yes, we do.
You do? Because I just had a friend recently say that they wanted to have an outdoor wedding for their grandchild, and the grandchild was looking all over the city for spaces. So you can, do they just contact you? Who do they contact?
Yeah, so we have a dedicated events manager who typically handles those inquiries, but there's a page on our website. If you go to our homepage, there's at the header a link for permits, and that's typically where you find most of the event venue information. Most of our event spaces are outdoors. Our hope is that over time, of course, as we continue to rehab the buildings, we can have a dedicated event venue. I think it would be perfect for weddings. We also have the chapels there that could be renovated. But we did a very large wedding this past summer where they brought in a tent, and it was really lovely. And we've had folks have ceremonies in the hills in front of the statue. So there are a lot of creative ways that folks can inquire about that.
That's great. That's great. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, and it looks like Diana just dropped a link in the chat for event inquiries.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Paul.
Okay. Yes.
Sorry, do you mind if I ask one more question? I put my hand up, but I don't know if you noticed it because I think I kept it up from last question.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Sarah, what is the current COVID policy as it relates to the ferry? Is it just like any other public transportation in New York City, or what's the status of that?
Yes, it is. So according to federal guidelines, ferries are included in the mask mandate on public transit. So we do require that folks wear masks or face coverings when boarding, when riding, and when exiting the ferry. We also are adhering to the city's Key to NYC mandate. So this summer, when the LMCC Art Center was open, when folks went inside the historic houses to engage in public programs happening, you had to show proof of vaccination. You don't have to show proof of vaccination to enjoy the outdoor space or the park on the island, but we are adhering to all of the federal, state, and local guidelines.
And I would imagine it is, but that information is currently on the website?
It is, yes. And can be found when you're on the island as well through signage and whatnot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Anyone else? I see a couple of people who spoke already have their hands up. Does that mean you want to speak again?
I put my hand back up. I just have a question. Whatever happened to the spa that was going to open on the island?
The spa is still planning to open soon. They were delayed for a number of reasons related to typical inspections you have at the end of a construction project. But my understanding is that they are hoping to open this winter. Originally, they had announced September, but again, they got delayed. But the project is pretty much completed. Once they are closer to opening, I know that I have told them that the community would probably be really interested in a tour, but we could certainly arrange. It's just a great example of what these buildings can become when we have the right partners and investment in them. But we'll certainly keep you posted and would love to show you what it looks like.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
Joe, did you have anything else? Joe Lerner, I see your hand up. Does that mean you want to speak again? All right, you're muted, so I can't hear an answer. All right, and Andrew, you're done. I see your hand's also still up, but
Sorry, I'm done. Yep.
Okay, so with that, I guess we will thank you, Sara, for this presentation. Very exciting to have you guys year-round, and we look forward to sharing this information on your behalf to our community and trying to get people out there.
Thank you so much for having me, and have a great holiday if I don't see you all before.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Committee, that's actually the only item we had scheduled for discussion. Does anyone have any new or old business that they need or wish to raise? Okay, with that, I guess I will congratulate us for having a very efficient meeting and hope you all have a great evening.